Ed has for a long time been the adult supervision at IAVA. And he's been a tremendous mentor and guide to us, and he was one of the first guys who sent me a note last night when he heard the news, and my initial response was, you guys deserved this 20 years ago. And I think this is about recognizing not just our generation, but all generations of veterans. So, to quote a pretty high-ranking guy in Washington, this is a big fucking deal. This is a big deal. And it's a big deal not for me and not for the individuals on this cover who are really impressive in their own right, but this is a huge deal for our community. For the young vet who just got back, who's walking into a job interview, for the young vet who's trying to navigate school, for the young vet who's starting a business, this is a total reshaping of the national conversation, and it's long overdue. So we are humbled to be a part of this, and we hope that it jumpstarts a national dialogue that should have happened a long time ago, but Joe deserves tremendous credit for really giving it the kickstart that we needed. There are 2.3 million men and women who are represented by this cover. They've been serving diligently, they're dynamic, they're hardworking, they're entrepreneurial, they're tough, and they are exactly what this country needs. It's not charity, this is a smart investment. And when we're cutting costs, this is one that you double down on, because these folks are really going to serve our country well. So before I introduce Joe, I just got to do a couple of thank yous, because this night wouldn't be possible. We're a nonprofit. We are totally dependent upon the kindness and generosity of our supporters and friends and families. They help make nights like this possible. So first off, I want to thank CNN, and a special thank you to Greg the IAVA and Amir Acosta for securing this space and for sponsoring this evening. Greg, please give him a round of applause. He and CNN have been in our corner before it was popular, and they helped us get off the ground, and they were telling our stories, and that's really what's most incredible, the stories. You're going to meet the veterans around this room. And that's something else I want to do. If you're a veteran of any generation and you served in our country's uniform, can you please raise your hand, and can we give them all a round of applause? So, talk to these men and women because they've got incredible stories. And Time Magazine is now telling those stories. So we want to thank Joe Klein, especially Carrie Chaika and Jen Nato for making the issue, the story happen, and for donating so generously, and to Rick Stengel, who's here as well. Thank you for your leadership on this and for your support. We really appreciate it. Also, I want to recognize and thank a couple of the other folks who are on the cover who are in the room. Liz McNally is here somewhere. Liz, where are you? She's very shy. It's going to be a lot harder now, Liz. But she is a dynamic, driven leader whose incredible story is told on there, a Rhodes Scholar. She was an MP platoon leader, wrote speeches for General Petraeus, and is really, I think, an inspiration to many of us. And it's important to recognize that this is also critical because 15% of the women, 15% of the veterans coming home in this generation are women. And that's something most people don't know. So this cover is also going to help break through and help people appreciate the women warriors that are sacrificing every day. So please give it up for Liz in the back. John Galena is also in the room, all the way from North Carolina, so please raise your hand, sir, and give it up for this gentleman. He and Dale Beatty are on the cover. These are two gritty, tough, proud guys who saw a problem and are now rebuilding and refitting homes for disabled vets in their community. And Dale can't be here. He's actually doing a fundraiser, I think, down in North Carolina for Purple Heart Homes. But he's a warrior in every sense of the word, and these guys are here, he's here in person, and Dale's here in spirit, and they motivate the heck out of me too. So please spend some time with them and recognize John for his leadership. I just got to thank our board of directors because they make everything happen. Wes Moore, Ed Vick, and a lot of supporters who are in the room, Coach Bill Cower, and a lot of the folks who helped make this organization what it is, and our supporters from the early days when we were 2 or 3 people in one room and sharing a computer and scraping things together just to get a veteran on TV. It used to be a big deal when one of us was on TV at all because we finally had a voice, and the staff works in the shadows every day and doesn't get enough credit. And I'd ask you please to recognize the staff that work so hard at IAVA every day. we have families. We have a joke that working at IAVA is kind of like deployment. And the hours are long. The credit, it doesn't seldom happen. It seldom happens. They don't work for a lot of money, and the families are along for the ride, just like the military families. So our families have been incredible. I got to thank my family, my mom and dad, my brother, Melissa, and my sister-in-law, Melissa, is pregnant and might be giving birth any day now. So, she might be at Time Magazine one day too. Little Mika's going to be coming any day now. So, but thank you guys. You have been in my corner and this organization's corner from the beginning, and all the other friends in the room. One last thing I want to do before I bring Joe up is there's momentum around this issue right now. The president jump-started a conversation. The corporate community is finally getting involved, and it comes at an interesting time because we just had the Navy SEAL tragedy, and it reminds people the cost and the depth of the sacrifice. And one thing we wanted to do tonight is just do one quick moment of silence to take a minute to remember those folks that were lost and their families. Thank you. This is a big moment, and it wouldn't have happened if not for Joe Klein. He's been tracking on our issues. He's spent a lot of time with General Petraeus over the years, and he's got to get it. We've dealt with a lot of folks in the media, and a lot of them don't get it. But this is a guy from the moment we first connected. He understood. He understood the magnitude of the stories. He understood the importance of the issues, and he understood the potential of folks like us. And when we started talking about guys that he should connect with, he lit up, and he's been really deep into it ever since. And he's become such a tremendous advocate and such a great storyteller for so many folks that needed their stories told. So if you haven't seen him in the media, Ed said this morning, hearing Joe speak, brought tears to his eyes. It made me feel the same way. And he's just getting started. So could you please welcome our friend Joe Klein.